Hola mundo. That means hello world in Spanish. And if you are in technology at all, you understand the significance of hello world. It's the very first thing you learn to program when you're learning any new programming language. And that's kind of related to what we're doing here today. We are reprogramming our brains so that we have better access to the information that we need to design our lives. I'm Ashua Nicole.
I'm Julie McNeil.
And we are here to share some of the things that we've learned and have been teaching and coaching others to do. I'm an energy reader, a metaphysical teacher, a retreat facilitator, and Julie.
I'm a metaphysical teacher and coach, and
we're avid students of everything about life and the time that we're in.
Yeah, so absolutely.
Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for listening, and we can't wait to share what we have for you today.
Absolutely. So we've already shared who we are. Let's talk a little bit about why we're doing this. You know, we sort of highlighted that this is a unique time, 2020. And we have been talking about doing something like this for a long time. There are many stories that we've shared with each other, we've shared with other people, and we know that there's such everybody right now is looking for a way to have a great life experience, and it is the time is now really to be more active and deliberate in choosing I would say mindsets and behaviors and actions that really get you what you want. So We're going to be talking a lot about the dream life that is realizable now at this point, and so we're going to be talking about techniques for making that happen.
Yeah, well, in 2020. I know that my life is charmed already. I get everything that I want. I keep getting everything that I want. My kids get everything that they want. My friends get everything that they want.
Right. And it's available to everyone
all day long.
Yeah. And so speaking of that, I recently had someone comment on my page about this, new age stuff, and they weren't really happy about what they were manifesting. And I do get it. And that there are some very significant misunderstandings about how creation works. And so we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about how to be, more understanding and a better understanding of your own self-awareness and how that's impacting your life experience.
And the way I think of it is, I think what works best for me is I'm a really good discerner of what I prefer and what I don't. Yeah. I notice those things right away. I'm always solution focused. So the moment contrast or a problem or something presents itself, I am understanding quickly and assessing and often choosing. That is like a big word for 2020 is choosing. This is a year of choice among many other things.
Get to that point where you could do that, because a lot of people want to know, well, it sounds like, well, you've got it, Nicole, but I can't do it. So a lot of people are thinking that way, but what caused you to get there?
First of all, I have been into this stuff for a long time, and at the very beginning it took, and when I say a long time, I'm talking upwards of 30 years. It took nearly, in the beginning, I was young. It took a long time for me to integrate something. I can remember distinctly reading a passage or an idea in my first metaphysical book and putting the book down going, okay, I know the thing I just read was really important and I really want to get it, but I totally don't understand this right now. And then just going through a process of asking for insight, first of all, because we're always asking questions, and then those questions are always answered by the universe, by people, by things that you read, by stuff that you hear. Messages are always coming in, and you don't even understand the level of programming that you have for the thoughts and beliefs that you already ascribe to. But when you're taking the reins of reprogramming your own mental processes, you're open to a whole new world of information and messages. And so I remember one time it took me like a month to understand what a particular passage meant. And then when I got it, I was like, oh, this is great. And then I just set about practicing it. But I've also operated from the idea, I'm from the Midwest. We live in Chicago. and I call it my Midwest values. So I don't just want to talk some stuff or say some things. I really challenge myself or task myself with becoming the message. I need to understand this. I need to be able to apply it at a moment's notice. I need to
Dedication.
live it and breathe it. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's basically it's just it's a practice of constant application. And it's really just through sheer practice. But you have to be patient with yourself.
And I have to say, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I have to say that you and I both have been working on this for many, many years. I mean, for me personally, if I look back, it probably started well before I even knew we didn't have a name for it. But I knew that I could change situations by focusing on what the feeling of the situation was. Even as a little kid, I remember if I didn't want to go to school, the next day I would sit up. We had a window up in the dining room, a window sill, and I would sit up there and I would just think about what it feels like to have a fever and not to feel well. And no one ever taught me that, right? And then I'd go to sleep, and the next morning I'd have a temperature, and I wouldn't have to go to school. So there are a lot of these things as we look back, we kind of knew that we could create through our feelings and our emotions, and so just tapping into that feeling. So. But one good thing I am going to say is, even though we've been at it a long time, it doesn't have to take 30 years, but you have to understand energy is moving faster. So it is really a matter of vibration. It isn't really a matter of how many years, but it is simple. It is definitely what you said, your dedication, your constant desire.
Choosing.
Constant choosing, and really challenging yourself to be self-aware. And even when there's a lot of things that people, maybe you don't want to deal with or address, that maybe you have an issue with something and you always respond negatively when you see that kind of person or have that kind of experience, and then challenging yourself to raise and be better and raise up from that.
A big part of it is not making yourself wrong when you're not figuring it out.
Oh my goodness.
And that's what I mean by patience. I don't really believe in patience. It's not in my belief system at all.
Nope.
It's never necessary. Patience can be resistive.
And there's no need for patience in the vortex.
Absolutely. And that's a reference to our beloved Abraham Hicks. However, it's about being unconditional loving, and I'd like to do an entire video just talking about what unconditional love is, because most people have no idea of what that is. We think we know what love is, but what we're really calling love are different aspects of fear, and that has been very common and sustaining in our culture, where with things, if I say, oh, I'm worried about you, or I want you to be safe, those are really aspects of fear. I'm expressing fear with a mask of caring, or fear with the mask of wanting safety. But that's not unconditional love, because unconditional love would never have that perspective.
Absolutely.
And understanding the difference. And that was a more recent teaching. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's 2020. So this is probably about 6 years now, when I first came in contact with a really good description of what love versus fear was, in a way that just really gave me an amazing amount of new clarity around it. And it was something that I already understood quite well, but having this new layer of understanding just changed how I framed everything from that point forward. So it's really just about how you're framing life and the stories that you're telling yourself, because we're always telling ourselves stories.
I was going to say, at the real basis of the work that I do with my clients really is around this concept of being authentic, and what that means to really be yourself, and to understand your worthiness, that the simple fact that you exist means that you are worthy. The universe would not have created you if you weren't important to this whole all that is. And so the first thing we talk about and I work with clients on is this concept of value of self, and a love of self, and what that really means. And it's so interesting. We often think, of course I love myself. I mean, it's crazy. I wouldn't love, of course. But then you would see and watch what people do, and some of the behaviors are demonstrating that they're not allowing themselves to maybe have the things that they really want, or they're afraid to go out and get the things, or to believe they really deserve. As I ask people all the time, what do you deserve? Do you deserve happiness?
Yes, I was going to say that doesn't just apply. It sounds like it could just apply to material things, but it really is everything. Do you allow yourself well-being? Do you allow yourself health? Do you allow yourself happiness and contentment? Do you allow yourself to be satisfied or abundant? Do you allow yourself to be loved? Do you allow yourself to be loving? You know, we think we're a lot of those things. Do you allow yourself to be free? Do you allow yourself to thrive?
To dream.
Yes. To know, to rest. Some people can't even sleep.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I will myself to sleep. Like I can always get a good night's sleep. But because I always say I can get a good night's sleep, I always get a good night's sleep.
That's right. And if you have a night where you can't sleep, if that does happen, you don't make it wrong. You just flow with that. You're like, oh well, apparently myself needs to do something else right now. And you just kind of go with that.
Or there's something I need to understand or know or write. There's a message coming through. There's all kinds of reasons for everything. Every single thing that we experience has purpose.
Yes.
And we are often empowered to choose precisely what that purpose is.
Your power is in your perspective.
Yes.
Is a statement I use all the time. I probably got it from one of the many teachers that we, probably Bashar or Abraham Hicks or something.
I don't know. It might be Julie.
It might be Julie. I might be channeling my higher version or my future self. But but your power really is in your perspective, and no matter what is happening. And Bashar absolutely you'll hear us talk a lot about Bashar, because I think Bashar is one of the most powerful, transformative teachers, because they're not coming just from they're quasi-physical, so they understand what it's like to be a physical human, or a physical person or physical entity or being, but they're talking often about just the fact that no matter what's happening, it's not the issue of what's happening, it's how you respond to what's happening. And that's where your peace and your joy that you're talking about, and happiness and inner being, is really found in that perspective.
I'm never not far
That's
from
a freedom place, isn't it? When you have a perspective that can just take you to that freedom feeling where you don't have to make things wrong, or
So one thing that we definitely wanted to share for this particular segment, we'll try and keep it short, as it's 2020 and it's still January.
And now what?
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited for everything that's coming this year. There is so much happening every day, and it's amazing. It seems like things are moving very quickly. It's an intense time. It's a very polarizing time. But I think that's more interesting than it is
there's an opportunity. It's
Some
opportunity.
people may be triggered by a lot of the things that are happening right now, but I find it fascinating. I think it's just this amazing show that I get to watch and participate in whenever I choose. However, the things that are evolving in my own life and my own path are very, very exciting to me. So let's talk about the importance of this video. This helps us do a number of things, and this is the best way we felt that we could demonstrate what this is. So the big whoop about 2020 is that it's a year of choice, but it's also a year of clear vision. You are not going to be able to look at anything and not know exactly who you are and where you are relative to it. The important thing is that you take action and make a choice. Choosing first is helpful, but it doesn't require it. It is more important that you're acting on your passion. It was my passion to make a video, to respond to the calling that I've had for a couple of years now, to just get online and broadcast some messages. And as you can tell, we did not get together and go, oh my God, it has to be perfect. I don't have makeup on. I just fluffed my hair out this morning. I'm wearing whatever I'm wearing.
You have this beautiful backdrop here.
Exactly.
So it's about the action though, right?
Yeah, it was about taking action and getting started now. Our lighting is not perfect, but it's amazing. The sun just decided to get really, really strong in the window right when we were sitting down, and we were like, we have to now turn around from where we were originally positioning ourselves. That's fine. Yeah, some hot spots. I don't mind if you don't mind. Half of you are probably just going to be listening to this anyway instead of watching it, but if you're watching it, great. Detaching from the outcome. You must take action on your passion without any attachment whatsoever or assumptions about the outcome. That is the magic of the whole formula. If you cannot do so without mandating or requiring an agenda to do so, then you have a lot of other work to do, and you may need some videos from some other people. We might touch on some of that stuff here and there, but that is not where we resonate. That's not our highest passion to teach you through right now. The best we can do is demonstrate it. I don't ever have an attachment to an outcome. I have no idea what this video is going to do. I don't know if only 2 people are ever going to see it, and that might just be us. I really don't care.
Right.
My job is to show up, spew
Speak
my
your
message.
voice.
Exactly. Get excited about it and get started.
Yep.
That's why we're here. And I trust the process. That's step number 3. Trust. Do you really trust when you're saying, oh, I need this thing to happen, but the moment you introduce a but to that statement, or any statement for that matter, you're demonstrating a trust in something not working out the way you would prefer.
I love how you said that, because people think trust is something you either have or don't have, when really trust is, the question is really not, do you have trust? You always have trust.
Yes,
but what
100%.
Nicole is saying is, what do you trust in? Do you trust in things working, or do you trust in things not working? Do you trust in your own empowerment, or you not trust in your own empowerment? And you fill in the blanks. So that's an important point.
But it's not even possible for you to lack trust. But you can have an abundance and a complete trust in lack. I just don't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Things are
Why
always
would you?
working out.
Right? Why?
It's so much more fun when you're just getting what you want.
Yes. Yes.
And then the 4th item is to demonstrate what you prefer. Demonstrate the reality that you prefer. If you want to live in a world where people are helpful and kind and compassionate and cooperative, you must do those things. Many people might prefer a world like that and not have any idea of what that looks like in the context they're currently in. It's our job as way showers to do those things and
be the change.
Yes, to be the message, to walk the path, to be the light, to just get it done.
Yeah. So one of the things that I have over the recent years, I've noticed there are a lot of old sayings out there that people resonate with, and be the change, but we're not really being the change. We're really like, that person needs to change, and then it'll be better,
Right.
So what we're going to be doing is kind of outlining, really in real practical ways, what are some of the actual behaviors, attitudes, and points of view that I actually have been holding that are actually holding me back. And so this is really, it's going to be fun, because I've had fun learning it myself, and we're still on our journey. So don't
Every
ever
day.
think that,
All
we're all on our journey.
Yeah.
And our journey, wherever we are in that place, is not a wrong place to be. It's your journey.
Absolutely.
And so we're really happy to be walking with you.
Absolutely.
Wherever you are.
All right, and I move to
go ahead.
add one little thing to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Don't be disappointed if you find, I know a lot of people in the metaphysical community think that, oh, if I think positively, I'm always supposed to be positive and things are always going my way. Okay, I'm going to be 100% with you right now. I embrace my light and I embrace my dark. I don't live in the dark, but it's there. It serves me really, really well, because there is no bigger message of what you don't want and what you don't prefer than something that you are not feeling at any given time.
Right.
I allow myself to emote around that. I don't live there, but it's a really great point of release. If you need to swear, swear. I curse like a sailor. It's all good. It cracks me up when people are like, oh my God, you swear all fucking day long. I am not averse.
Will they have trouble with that on YouTube?
Mind.
Just kidding.
Who cares? But yeah, allow yourself to be where you are and know that you always have a choice and it just gets better.
Yeah.
You just got to move in the direction.
Yeah, it's all good. So just really just be in that space that all is well. And one of my favorite sayings is, I did get this from Eckhart Tolle, one of his books, but it said, the purpose of dancing is not to get to a specific place on the floor. Have you heard that one?
No.
I just love that one.
But you said dancing. So I always go to a happy place.
Right, exactly. So if the analogy to life, the purpose of life is not to get to a specific place, which is why there is this thing that you're saying. It isn't about the destination, it's about the journey, and everybody's heard that one, right? But when you really apply it to your life, and what that really means is that even when things aren't happening the way that you envision or that you think you may want, what can you find in that point? And we'll keep talking about that, because that's the hardest one. How do I stay? We're not asking you to be positive and say, I like these things I don't like. That's not what we're saying. But we're saying that there is benefit in understanding what is wanted and what isn't wanted.
Absolutely.
And the real thing is, now what? Now what are you going to do? Now that you know that, isn't it great that you know what's not wanted?
Yeah.
So it wasn't a bad thing.
No,
it was
we live in a contextual universe, and that context serves us very well. The sun is shining really brightly right now.
You want to move a little?
It's warm. Nope. I just want to demonstrate this point, because it's a powerful cooperative component to what I'm about to say. So the sun is shining really brightly. If the sun were out 24/7, 365 days a year, we would not even have a name for it. It would just be that which is. The fact that it goes away, and that brightness, the light, the thrill that we get from the energy that we get from it is in absence for a time, that causes us to want to even have a way to express it. If we didn't experience darkness, we would have no word for the light. We would have no context within which to even understand what light is. And because we have light, we also have a context to experience and express what darkness is. It's just like that. And day and night are in balance, just like everything else. It is not about chasing one away, because we need them both to remain in the contextual environment that we are in. It's rich, it's visceral. There's so much here to explore and to savor. I savor all of it. I love it. I love the light. I love the dark. I love the cold. I love the warmth. I love the up. I love the down. I love all of it.
Hot and the cold.
Yes, the in, the out, the sour, the sweet. I love it. Life is so delicious in that way.
Relativity.
Absolutely. Everything is relative. Everything has context. Everything is necessary for us to have an experience and to evolve through. It's all here for our fun. It's all here for our joy. It's all here for our experience. And it's all okay. It's all good.
It's all good. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And we're just getting started. So,
Thank you so much for listening. We can't wait to come back. We have links and notes in the below the video or accompanying the video that you can use to find us wherever we are, and check out what events or
make comments.
Other resources.
And make comments about your thoughts or things that you heard that maybe you resonated with, or maybe some things that you don't, quite get or don't feel. So just share. We're open.
We'd love to hear from you.
Open to hearing it.
Thank you.
Thank you.